What's up, everybody? Here it is. My official, unofficial entry into the Great Guitar Build-Off, Build-Along 2020. That. I call it Axe. That's very original, I know. This was a ride, man. This almost didn't get done. And again, let me apologize to everyone who was following along. I know I kind of dropped off the radar with the YouTube videos. As I may have mentioned, I do work full-time. I am a nurse, and as we all know, it's a great time to be in the medical profession. So that took away a lot of time, and plus, about 2.5 weeks ago, family, we went through some pretty rough, sad things, which the focus obviously came off of this. I could not focus on this. Much more important things going on. So pretty much most of the final phases of this didn't get recorded because the small chunks of time I had available, I could not spend half of that time messing around with a camera and all that, and I wouldn't have had a completed guitar today. So again, I hope I'm not going to be penalized for not recording a lot of that. I did have photo things that we're going to go over. We're going to do a little recap. So let's hit off the basics and get all the most questions out of the way that people are going to have. Yeah, it lights up. Separate 9-volt for the neck, separate for the body. Can't really see from there. Yay, LEDs. Thank you to Ben for showing us how not to wire LEDs. That saved me a lot of time. Thank you. First things first. It is 58 inches from end to end, damn near 5 feet long, 18 inches across. It's a big boy. It only weighs 13 pounds, which is really surprising. The body is poplar, made out of 3 3/4-inch sheets of poplar. The neck is maple and hickory, 5-piece. The headstock does have a bit of a break to it. I don't know if you can tell. That was carved one piece. That was not cut apart and glued. And you will also see have kind of a unique shape to the back of the headstock. I thought that was kind of interesting. But a little logo there is kind of backwards. Sorry about that. The nut, I did intentionally leave chunky. It might not look very good because I don't have the proper tools for fret slotting nuts. No nut tools here. And I'm concerned about the angles on the strings here because that's going to blow apart. Someday, hopefully, I'll upgrade to brass or aluminum. The strings being parallel on the headstock is kind of a happy accident, so I'll take it. Truss rod cover attaches by magnets. That was done cutting it out, filling it with clear epoxy, and carving it and polishing it from there. I went with a no marker fretboard because I kind of dig the look, and plus I wanted to mimic the shape of the guitar in my little design because I didn't feel like carving out another RV because that's really annoying. But it was super fun. Now, the finish. I did have some issues with the finish. If you are going to do, now this is rattle can finish. No fancy spray guns, no brushing, no nothing. You can see the wood, actually, the wood grain is exposed in the design. That is not painted. I figure that's kind of a unique thing there. Simply taped it off, cut it out, and sprayed it. And it worked out. Now, again, if you are going to do any type of paint work at all, and do it outside, number one, do not forget to don't forget about it. And also, if you're gonna forget about it, pay attention to the weather, because it blew over and got rained on, which set me back about a week to 2 weeks. So again, one of the main reasons why this almost didn't get done. But it works, looks good as far as I'm concerned. Speaking of looks, I know something this out there, in the court of public opinion, is hit or miss. So if I was really focused on the competition end of it, I would have just went and bought the most expensive, fanciest piece of wood I could find and made a Telecaster. Nothing against the dudes who do that. They're beautiful, but not my thing. Lost my train of thought. I don't want to insult the Telecaster Strat guys, because I love what you do. Just, I like to do weird things. It's weird. What else can I say? This guitar, I would say, probably cost me less to build than what most guys out there paid for the wood to make their guitar. All in, parts, wood, down to the 5 cans of spray poly that I put on this thing. I'm into it less than $400. And I think that's pretty good. Can't beat that. So, we're gonna do a little breakdown, little run through of how this came to be, and come back and do a little sound check. Okay, it's talkie time. All right. The main parts of the body were glued together, cut out with a jigsaw, which was not fun. Routed out those little side cutouts. Did the side vents with nothing more than a drill and a file. Lots of little tiny filings. Very time consuming, but totally worth it. Did my body shaping with an angle grinder. Also shaped the neck with an angle grinder. Funnily enough, that was my first time ever using an angle grinder with a 32 grit sanding disc. That was super fun. I'll be using that on many things in the future. The body sections were put together with 3/4 inch maple, glued and screwed. Surprisingly, not surprisingly, but it's a hell of a lot stronger and sturdier than you would think it would be. It's very solid for as little as connecting the two pieces. The paint process was fun for me. I've never done anything like that with paint. Masked it all off, cut it out after dyeing the body. Primed it. Everything was rattle can. I did 2 different tones of kind of like a metallic steel, and it turned out pretty good. I lost count of how many coats of clear I put on. Plus, I lost count of how many times I had to repair the clear as I was doing it, because I had so many issues. That was not fun. But we got it. The neck is maple and hickory 5-piece sandwich with the wings as maple. I did have to revise the shape of the headstock because it actually kind of looked a little penisy. Did the cutouts on that to kind of mirror the body. Did that with a Dremel and a little router attachment. Also, the truss rod cavity pocket I carved that out by hand because I was afraid to take a router to it. The fretboard was super fun to do with the LEDs. I find out that I actually really enjoy soldering, but I'm not too good at it. That was also the first fretboard I ever did. So that was a learning experience. The wiring doesn't look too pretty, but again, I'm still learning. So I took a little trip for its unveiling down to the Rock Hall, and if you're gonna unveil a guitar in a project like this, and you live in Cleveland, it only makes sense. So that was super cool. Yeah. Another really weird design feature that this thing has is it does not have a normal size guitar neck. Here it is next to my rich bitch. The neck is probably the most unique design feature on this because I have sausage fingers and I've never been able to play the guitar the proper way. So the neck is actually 2 3/8 inch wide with 0 taper and almost no radius. Very much kind of like in the classical guitar vein. The string spacing is 7/16. It's pretty wide, but it actually, to me, it feels great. To a normal seasoned guitar player, it would feel alien and weird and probably pretty unpleasant. I think it's fantastic. So, it's currently tuned to drop A, which is pretty unique because I've used so many different tunings over the years because I can't play good. It's currently tuned to drop A, but it's tuned like a 7th string minus the little string. So A, ding, ding. It's missing the bing, bing, bing. Missing that one. It works for me. It's low, it's down, it's dirty. That's how I like it. Almost forgot, in case you're wondering, the power switches for the lights live in there. That was pretty fun to do. Got to learn all about LED lighting and all that. Again, thank you, Ben, for showing us what not to do. So that was pretty cool. Disclaimer time. After listening back to the recording of that, I am sorry. The tuning was not good. I didn't pick it up until I picked up the phone and I listened. Oh my god, it sounds terrible. But people are going to bed in my house and I kind of have to be done. And I can't record tomorrow, so that's it. Yeah, it was over-modulating a lot and it sounded really bad. I am sorry. But I promise you it actually sounds pretty good in person. Yeah, so don't hold it against me. Okay. Awkward time. My little remote died. Anyways, I attempted a passive piezo system, a rod in the bridge and a disc in either of the chambers. That's when I learned all about preamps. I can get it to work. It needs a lot of gain to be able to hear it and come through. So I'm not going to waste your time with that because I know it's going to sound like crap in the recording. So the recording that you guys are going to hear isn't going to do it justice. It really does sound pretty decent. very surprisingly decent compared that these are super cheapo Amazon pickups. Bring that down a little bit. It does have coil split, like any other, yeah. That sounds pretty decent. I'll take it. But everybody wants to know, does it sound angry? Yes, it does. It gets low. So, again, you don't have to tell me in the comments that I suck. I know. I'm also getting used to playing something with this neck because this is really weird. But it feels good. It's just taking me some time to get used to. So, yeah, we'll get there. We always get there. Enough of that tomfoolery. Here's a neat little trick. If your bass player calls out sick, okay, we're done with that end of the program. That's a wrap. Thank you to everyone who made this whole thing happen. Ben, Crimson, Texas Toast for kind of throwing the whole idea out there in the first place. Very cool to watch and follow along in this crazy world that we got going on now. They're just a little bright spot in the day, so that's pretty cool. Thank you to my family again, all the crap we've gone through in the last few weeks, this project has kind of helped me focus a little bit off of that, and it's helped. Thank you. Thank you to my lovely wife, who has not murdered me for doing this. My stepdaughters cheer me on. Thanks. You guys rule. Everybody else. Again, I'm not a guitar builder. I'm not a guitar player. I'm a complete novice. This is only the second guitar I have ever built. I want to do something different, do something weird, because there's so much of the same out there, which it's cool, but I like to use my imagination a little bit, have fun with it. Someday I'll build something normal, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Think outside the box, man. You know what? Don't just think outside the box. Take the box, kick the shit out of it till there's no more box left, and then you can grow. But being a complete amateur in this competition, that's the cool thing. Not only are there amateurs in the unofficial build-off, there's pros building guitars too, man. And they're good. And having that mix of the whole broad end of the spectrum, guys who build guitars professionally and sell them, and people like me who are just dicking around in their garage throwing something together. It's pretty cool. And all these different people from all over the world kind of came together and cheered each other on. And it was really cool to be a part of. Got to talk to a lot, message and whatever with a lot of people, and it was cool. So again, thank you. It's been fun. Hopefully I get to continue on. Again, this is a pretty weird design. I know Ben is choosing the top 25, and that man has extremely high standards. So if I'm even considered from someone of his caliber, that would be a ridiculous honor to even be acknowledged by someone like that, or any of the other builders, and even other guys in the unofficial competition who are like, dude, that's cool. That it means a lot coming from people who are way better than me. So thank you again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You. Again, if I make it, that's great. If not, I still have one of the coolest guitars on the planet. I don't care what anybody says. This thing's freaking awesome. So, thanks everybody. Hopefully, we'll be seeing you soon.